We are recording now.
Okay.
Yep. It's live.
He recorded this intro music.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Let's hear it. Let's hear your joke.
All right, that joke just came up actually. So everybody's keeps hearing about Carlos. Carlos was here at the shop. Everybody's leaving. We're closing shop up. Notice Carlos's car still out front, so we're missing Carlos. So we go looking for Carlos, and we find him. He's in the bathroom. You know what he's doing?
What was he doing?
Talking shit.
That might be the first original dad joke we've had. On the and timing wise, it was like developed right now.
Yeah, like that happened. He said that today, and I'm like, you got to say that on the show. It's awesome.
Yep, that one worked out right now.
All right, what the hell day is it? It's Wednesday.
Yep,
Wednesday,
yep. Which the Finns call Little Saturday.
Who's the Finns?
You know, the Finnish people.
Oh,
Finland.
Okay.
Anyways, Little Saturday.
I call it Hump Day, right?
Hump Day.
Yeah,
I don't know
why. It's Hump Day.
Jesus.
Mike.
Hump Day.
There's going to be a whole bunch of these like jokes between you two.
Oh yeah.
We should probably tell our listeners who we got here with us.
Oh, yeah.
You want to introduce yourself, buddy?
Yeah, I'm Justin Dietrich. I'm kind of a Guru Bikes ambassador, downhill racer for Guru Bikes, and old friend of Dane's. And we met maybe, I don't know, 8 years ago.
Why do you guys always bring up time? Then my age comes into it.
I didn't bring up the age thing. I will say that we are similar in age only because we went to the same high school.
That's true.
You guys are similar in age?
Time.
He looks way younger than you do.
Thanks.
Right?
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, I would have guessed you were 10, 15 years younger than him.
I have no hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's hiding it under
But
that.
I don't have a hat on, so.
Yeah, I was blessed with a dark beard, so that helps.
Oh, geez. All right. I have to start out by saying that I'm super intimidated because you guys are both like downhill shredders, and I'm just like a mere mortal, like casual mountain bike rider.
You say that all the time, but if I don't have an e-bike, I have a hard time keeping up with you. So
I appreciate that, Dan.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so that's
man.
legit. And if you'd go ride with us, we'll show you.
I've been riding. It's not that I haven't been riding.
I invite you to places, and you are like, no, I'm scared.
Come ride Portal with us.
Come ride, exactly.
Screw you, man. Can we like walk, crawl, then run, or
it's funny,
crawl,
man.
walk, then run?
I described trails all the time to people, and I'm like, yeah, it's no problem. It's easy. Like somebody came in the shop, and they're like, yeah, that techie section at Honeybee. And I'm like,
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And I go out there, and you realize there are techie sections, and people are coming into the shop and buying droppers, so they can do the techie section at Honeybee. And for those of you that don't live in Tucson, Honeybee is it's cow trails, super mellow,
dirt sidewalks.
Yeah, dirt sidewalks.
As green as it gets.
Yeah, but you'll come into this little wash area, and there's like half a foot drops here and there. Like they're really small. It's like going down a curb, for us, and that freaks people out. So, but yeah, I forget that I'm desensitized. So,
well, that's a good transition here. We thought it'd be interesting to talk about some trails. And we've been traveling a bit. You have, I have, and we've ridden some different trails. And some of our past episodes where we talked about trails perform really well. So my hypothesis is that our listeners want to hear about trails. So
it's fun, right?
Yeah.
And then it gets you stoked.
Gets us stoked to go ride different places.
You were there, and like, I totally remember that. So I think talking about trails is fun. So
if you have a great trail in your local area that is, worthy of talking about on a national scale or international scale. We found out recently that we've got listeners like,
I want to hear about trails,
South Africa
with
Australia.
black mambas on them.
No shit, right?
Yeah. It's like, seriously, like
I was not
you ride
expecting
trails
all
and
those.
have to dodge black mambas. Oh, can I say something really quick?
Go for it.
So, on our last episode, I think it'll be our last episode.
Yeah. We'll post this one next.
We talked about animals, and I mentioned I run over snakes. I just want to say Josh did research and found out that it does hurt them. So please don't do that.
Yeah. If you can, it will damage them. It will damage their spine, and then they'll likely not eat and then die from starvation.
I don't want anyone crashing onto them like Jim Noreen did, but please don't run them over. Try and bunny hop them. So
I have bunny hopped a handful.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We have all, I think, if you live in the desert.
I've also apologized to one that yes. Sorry, Snake.
I always worry that someone's going to get one sucked up into their wheel.
That's
And
happened.
I've seen videos of that, but I've never actually witnessed it live.
So we had a customer on the loop, and she was riding, and one of those little squirrels got caught in her front wheel.
Oh no!
Slammed the wheel, stopped it, flipped her over.
Oh no!
Yeah, like I don't know if she lost a tooth, but she got a little messed up. And shout out to Laura. And
obviously, the squirrel didn't survive.
No. And we had to clean the blood off the bike.
Oh gosh!
And stuff. Yeah, but yeah, messed her up pretty good. Like it was pretty scary. So
watch out for those animals.
So that does happen.
All right, so we get a bunch of trails to talk about, and we might meander off a little bit about this and talk about some different trails as well. But I wanted to start. Dane took a crew up last week.
Yep.
To Prescott, Arizona.
Yep.
And there's a new flow trail system gravity flow trail system that they built there. It's got like 3 phases. They've just built the first phase called Bean Peaks.
Yep.
It's really close to town. It's like 3 miles out of town.
You could ride from town.
You literally could ride from town, although it's uphill. So that would pretty much suck.
You could ride your e-bike. So
we're already on the e-bike topic.
Sorry. All right. Never mind. I didn't say that.
But they just finished their. It's an interesting thing. There's not a lot of flow trail systems in Arizona.
No.
I mean, there's this one. There's Hawes has got some.
Yep.
I'm going to talk a little bit later about some stuff in Flagstaff that I rode. I'm not aware of any other ones. Are you guys aware of any other trail like real machine built purpose gravity trail flow systems?
Sunrise is working on it.
Yeah.
They have a little bit at the bottom, right?
Yeah, and they're doing more building. Like they just built a new trail. I think the guys up there, short bus.
Okay.
He was one of the ones that commented on our.
It's like the Tonto Gravity.
Yep,
trail
Tonto
guys.
Gravity Roads.
Yep.
Chris Johnson, and then James Van Hurst.
Okay.
So I think they just announced there's a new trail.
And it's a flow trail because I've never ridden it Sunrise. What I've told is it's pretty chunky. It's like
very raw.
It's like backcountry downhill more than
It's getting more flow. So they're building more and more flow, and they're building better jumps and berms, and so they're doing a lot more work than I've seen in years. So it's really nice. And those guys are working hard. They're up there every weekend. I think Chris personally bought like an excavator, a little mini one.
Yeah, he's in it to win it, man.
Yeah, he really is. So
I'm thinking about buying one of those.
I'm gonna have to.
We'll talk about that.
You have to remind me to shout out or to send this episode to him. Let him know that we're talking about him.
We weren't even planning on talking about him. We just ended up.
Yep.
But Bean Peak. So 3 different phases. They finished the first phase. It's 9.2 miles. I got a listing of the trails here. It's kind of like a green, like just real good grade climb up. And I used a towing strap for my youngest son, Matt, and towed his ass up the trail, which he really appreciated.
So, I always call that a feeder trail. So there's one trail that goes up. It's pretty mellow. I rode it, no problem.
Yep.
On a 40-pound bike.
Yep.
So no issues. And got to the top. And then there's different hubs. So I'm noticing that those are the 2 terms that I'm hearing a lot are you have a hub
and a feeder trail.
And the hub is where you have a gather point and different fingers that go off, different trails that go off.
Yeah.
And so when I ride San Diego, it's similar. It's a feeder trail up, and then you have a hub, and then different feeder trails that go off. And sometimes the feeder will go to another hub and have 2 or 3 more runs.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So that's definitely how it's set up. And there's, now I would say it's blue and green. They got 1 black trail, but the blue trails were not very difficult, was my experience. It was super fun and fast, but like not very difficult at all.
Yeah. And when I talk about trails, when we talk about trails and we're going to rides and stuff, we always get confused on how they're really, I'm sure somebody's got some sort of format that they're supposed to use, but it doesn't seem to be consistent.
So a black trail is different depending on where you go in the country. That's my experience as well.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing that there's so many misconceptions is like a double black trail in Arizona would be considered like road trail somewhere else.
Yeah.
I had a guy that was in, not that there aren't hard trails in Wisconsin, but years ago.
There's hard trails?
There's one.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was in Sedona and we were riding Highline. We got done. It was a group ride for one of the very first Sedona mountain bike festivals. And we got done and we had a kind of a local guide.
Yeah.
And so he was showing us all these cool side hits, and there's like this 1 6-foot drop, and it had a nice transition, and then just a bunch of cool stuff.
Right.
Being in Arizona, we're lucky because we get really hard trails, so it makes all trails pretty easy.
Yep.
This guy was like blown away. He's like, there's no way I'd ever be able to ride any of this stuff. There's, we have double black stuff in Wisconsin, and this is stuff that only pros can ride. And
you're like,
I'm not a pro.
This is a Tuesday night for us, buddy.
That guy over there, he's drunk and he's doing it.
It varies so much, and we get so numb to it. Like, I'll ride stuff that's double black here, and I don't think twice about it. And then when I watch other people crawl down it on their butts or whatever, to me, I don't think about it as I ride it, that other people would think that this is not doable.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about trails, especially to people that have different variants, like with my wife, I took my wife, and she's good for about a blue.
Okay.
I took her
Arizona blue.
An Arizona blue.
Yep.
Right. Which is, it's not that hard. I don't know. I took her on Hangover.
Oh, God.
Maybe that was a mistake.
It was a big mistake.
Yeah.
I still owe her, because Hangover to me is like one of the best trails that I've ever been on.
Yeah.
The views are spectacular. It's got double black goodness that I don't find terribly difficult.
Yeah.
She walked the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was terrible.
Yeah.
She was
just for our listeners, where's Hangover?
So Hangover's in Sedona.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it hangs over. So like, if you go look on the YouTube and look up Sedona and watch the videos, you're literally on the side of one of these, what do you call them? Mesas? What do you call this?
Cliff?
Yeah.
It's like an overhang or something?
Yeah, but you're on the edge of it.
Oversized hoodoo?
Yeah. They're mesas, but you're on the side of it, and you're on one of the ledges, and it's only a few feet wide. And then there's a cliff, and you just ride along. So you're hanging over the trail. And then the side of the hill kind of hangs over you. So you're almost enclosed like
in a cave?
Yeah,
like
half a
cave.
tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds freaking awful.
It's amazing. So, and like you said, the views are amazing, but it's technical riding, and it is pretty technical. We took not the last ride we did there, but the one before, we broke somebody. She broke her ankle or knee or something. We had to walk her out, but it's a pretty
well, next time we go to Sedona, I'll bring our wives.
We'll take
you can ride with my wife, and I'll drink a beer at the bar with your wife.
Yeah, I bet you Lacey's would love it.
I think she's already ridden Hangover. She's told me about it.
It's awesome. And then there's a Highline. Those are the two I confused because they're both
tough.
H's.
Yeah.
Well, there's the Hog, so there's a Triple H. But Highline, going back to trails, it's probably the most popular trail in Sedona.
Yeah. It's the most famous for sure.
Yeah. And it's great. Like the Highline downhill is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what is not awesome about Highline?
The cliff.
This is no, it's not the cliff. Like, I can deal with that. What makes a great trail?
You were talking about this earlier.
Is finishing on a downhill.
Yep.
Like, when you get done with Highline and then you get to go back up 200, 300, 400 techie feet.
Yeah.
It's like a buzzkill.
Yeah.
But I'm a downhiller.
Yeah.
I don't mind techie climbs a bit.
I agree though. Like, I think the best trails, you end on the downhill. So you're just kind of coasting in, you're getting that high, that euphoric high. And whether it was techie whether it was an adrenaline ride or an endorphin ride, I think coasting in and just, relaxing afterwards is nice. And all trail builders should work towards that.
I've always thought about that. Like, in every race I've done that ended on the uphill, it's awful.
It is.
And like, even our little, whatever simple 24-hour race here, right? It's not a tough trail, but you do have a decent climb on the back, and then you
come ripping down the downhill.
ripping down for like a mile. It's
right
not even
into
that long, but
right
it feels
into the
great.
tent. Yeah, you got that high coming off of that, and even if you're not into downhill, you're still loving it because you're just totally catching your breath and coming into the tent, not just hating life.
About to throw up. I did a ride. I did a race in Prescott, 24-hour race in Prescott, and it ended with a gnarly uphill, and I was like,
I know.
That
That should be like rule 1 in the rule book.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So I'm going to come back to Bean Peak. So, I would say super for me as I'm a blue, starting to ride blacks. That's kind of where my level's at.
Yeah. So how many trails do they have?
Yeah. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
things.
blue trails, 1 black trail, and then 3 green trails that are downhill, and then the one that climbs up.
The feeder.
The feeder.
So
9.2 miles, all those trails we just talked about. And then in the fall of this year, they're going to start phase 2, which is going to add another 6.9 miles. In the fall of phase 3, they're going to add 4.7 miles. for a total of 20.8 miles. You can check it out at beampeaks.prescottmtb.com. We'll put a link in the show notes here, but just, cool that Prescott group up there is doing this. And I'd say if you're looking to get like new riders into the sport, I think there's no better way than like some fun flow trail with like a little bit different variation in the difficulty.
Totally, because the feeder trail is super easy, so it's not hard. You can take beginners out.
There's plenty of green trails coming down if you want.
Most of those, even with jumps in them,
you can go around them,
or they're tables. You can just roll right over the tops.
Yeah. But there was also some big features.
Yeah,
like a handful of like really big features.
Rocks and stuff like that. But they were alternate. Like
you didn't have to do it.
They were beelines.
Yeah. So if you have like a group with mixed skills, I think everybody would have some fun. I mean, you guys are amazing riders. I loved it.
I had a blast.
You had a good time?
And we did everything. We just kept doing lap after lap after lap. And our goal was to ride every single trail, which we did.
Yeah.
I can't remember which the long one was. Was it Cool Beans? Yeah.
Yeah. That was my
long one.
That was my favorite one, actually. I think it had the best lines and the best features.
Yeah. But the fact that they built it, it's awesome. They've got berms. I was thinking about it when we just got back from Big Bear, and there is nothing like this in Tucson, No. And so finding something like this, not yet.
Not yet.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll tell you more about that afterwards, Justin.
Secret stuff going on.
Can't talk about
it. But I mean, I think something like this is the future. So again, this format I see it in San Diego, but they're not always sanctioned trails.
Okay.
And they're just a bunch of bootleg trails where somebody,
social trails.
They did a double track that goes to some big hill in the middle of suburbia that's got a tower on it. And so they are able to ride up there, and then they just start carving techie
social trails,
jump lines and social trails down to the bottom. And it's the same format, just that easy climb, to the top, and then a bunch of short, like mile long.
You're going to have to give me some locations. We're going to be back out there in October.
Anderson Truck Trail.
Okay.
And then there's Ted Williams.
Okay.
Those are the two main ones.
Yep.
There's another one that I can't remember the name. I just know it's behind a Walmart.
I'll start just driving to all the Walmarts.
I can go to Google Satellite and I can actually find it because I know where it physically is, but I don't know the name of it. And it was pretty ripping too. So, and then, I think that format is really cool. So
that's awesome. All right. So, the next trail I want to talk about is a trail that these guys, have you ridden Portal?
No, but I've ridden up in Moab.
Yeah. Ridden up in Moab. This is one of the trails in Portal or in Moab, the Portal Trail, and like a dangerous challenge for true experts, a scenic hike-a-bike for mortals. Listed, and
that is a good description.
Right.
Yeah. Cause we just did a guru trip there, and I took a bunch of people, and maybe 2 of us, maybe 3 of us actually rode it. The rest walked.
Yeah.
So
Bike Mag says it's one of the deadliest trails in the world. And not that long ago, Kevin Kirk, who's 43 years old, died when he fell off a cliff.
Oh, shit.
200-foot cliff riding.
I was wondering how many people have actually died there. Because the sign says people have died.
This is the only person that I've been able to actually pinpoint the name. There's a lot of like hyperbole about it out there, but this guy really actually died. He fell off.
Yeah. So we're talking about Portal Trail in Moab.
Yeah, so tell us about it.
So we did it as a part of the Mag 7. And so there's a whole...
What's the Mag 7?
So it's like a 7... I don't know if it's supposed to be 7 trails, but there's a bunch of different trails out near Navajo Rocks, a little bit past Navajo Rocks on 313, I think.
Isn't it up near the White Rim? Kind of up in that area?
Yeah. I can't remember that. I just, again, on satellite, on Google Satellite, I can tell you exactly where this trail is. But I don't know most of the road numbers. So
this is popular enough. If you've got Trail Forks or anything, you can just put in Portal Trail. Make sure there's a lot of Portal Trails in the world, I learned.
Yes. There's one in Tucson.
There's one here.
Yeah. Near 36th Street.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. So you got to put in Portal, Utah specifically, but you'll find it. And if you have Trail Forks, you got to download the Utah version of Trail Forks.
So Mag 7 is you put together different trails. So like we did that right as you leave the highway, 313, we got on a trail called Bull Run, and Bull Run is around 5 miles, and it's super scenic. You're along these canyons. It's called Canyonlands, that whole area. We're near Arches National Park and stuff. And you just got these huge cliffs, and you're riding slick rock along them. And the trails are awesome. They spray paint little colors. So they're all color coded, which is really cool. So
that's like the trail marking is spray paint on the ground.
Yeah, because the trail is sometimes just on a huge slabs of rock. So
you wouldn't know if you
know where to go.
You didn't have those spray paintings.
And so you're going, they're usually blues or sometimes blacks, and that's mainly because you're kind of going up little shelves and down little shelves.
So are these Arizona blacks and blues or are these Utah blacks and blues?
No, definitely not, because everybody's like scared because they're black. Some were blacks, and we rode them, and they're like, no big deal.
Is it just the exposure?
I think it's the exposure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I don't know what the definitions are. I wish I had thought about being prepared for that, because we don't know what the definitions. Why one trail organization will call it a blue and another one would call it a black.
Yeah, we're definitely finding that there's a variation. Place to place we go.
I feel like trail systems that have a lot more popularity, like Moab and Sedona and all that kind of stuff, will rate their trails
a little harder.
Yeah, harder than what we would think.
Interesting.
So like Highline being a double black, I'm like, no.
Is that like a liability thing, you think?
I don't know if it's a liability thing, but they've probably had enough people that get themselves in over their head.
Yeah, I think they're scaring off.
If they're super popular, it's like, hey, be careful.
You go to Hangover, and there is a sign when you get to the actual Hangover off Cow Pies, and it says expert only double black, like exposed cliffs, all the things. There's a sign that says it, and there's still people up there.
And your wife still just followed you and said, yeah, no problem.
Well, she was that was my fault.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guarantee you there have been people up there in tennis shoes and khakis and like
not prepared.
Rented a bike and let's go try this trail.
Yep. Yeah.
Wrong.
Red one
wrong
review
idea
or something. Yeah.
Wrong idea.
And so, that's the big criteria. I heard there's some criteria if there's a certain amount of drop, like if there's a drop even on the trail, it'll rate that trail that
automatically as a blue or something.
Exactly. Things like that. So,
so back to Portal. Get us to Portal.
Bull Run, beautiful, scenic, slick rock, pretty slow, gradual descent. So not hard. No big climbs. Then you can choose different trails. So that was the most confusing thing on the Mag 7 for me, is that it's not a set route. When you go to Trail Forks or Mountain Bike Project, there's different routes that people have made. And so you kind of have to choose. And that was the hardest thing. And I don't know about other people, but I really struggle when I go to new places. If I don't know like the defined and I have to figure it out, that drives me nuts.
Because you got to stop, pull out your phone, study it.
Yeah,
it's a pain in the butt.
And then you're trying to decipher all this info, and those apps are beautiful, but they overdo it. Like you can know everything. You can know elevation. You can know all this stuff. I want to see a topo. I want to see an elevation so that I can know how much climbing or descending I'm going to do. And then I kind of want to know, yes, this is a good route, or this is the popular route.
So you need like Trail Forks for dummies.
I totally do. God, I would buy that. I won't pay for Trail Forks. There you go.
Take Trail Forks if you're listening. Yeah, I guess they're owned by Outside, Bike. Right? Because Outside owns Pink Bike, and
I bought into Trail Forks when they had like the paywall was put in place, and they're like, hey, if you buy in now, you get the good guy deal forever.
Oh,
I don't remember what it is.
I missed that.
It's like $12 a year or something.
Yeah.
It's really low.
I think I pay $80, so that's a pretty good. So that's a pretty good price.
I don't remember what it is, but it's low. But
I don't pay for it. So I'm too cheap.
Well, you could have my password. So
sweet. Don't tell him.
He's just kidding.
I'm not kidding.
We're just kidding, Trail
He's
Forks.
not kidding.
There's a lot of people that use my Pink Bike. Like if you were to go to Utah, you cannot download Utah. You have to subscribe because you don't live in Utah.
Oh, so that's what I found out.
If you haven't paid for the subscription.
So get this, you want to know the trick that I did? So I found out that if you don't subscribe, but you create a free profile
while you're in Utah,
they'll let you pick your home. Well, they don't know where you live, and so I picked Utah.
Yep.
So were you in Utah when you picked Utah?
No, And I just picked Utah, and then that became my home. So now when I'm trying to find trails up in Phoenix, I'm screwed. I can't see them.
You won't pay for the Trail Forks?
No, I have too many friends. Like they all have it. Like everybody has it, but I just go along. But so I don't even know how we got on Trail Forks.
So basically,
we're back to Portal.
You're going with routes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Trail Forks, you can look at routes.
Yeah.
Like if you were to be on Bull Run, you can click on that trail, bink, and it'll actually show you routes that are attached to that trail.
Yeah.
And then you can actually download that route if you wanted to.
It's way too many buttons.
Not too bad. Once you figure out how to do it, like backpackers got this stuff dialed, right?
Yeah. Well, and they need
they got a lot of,
because
they got
if
a
they
lot
go
of time
a mile
too.
out of their way,
got a
they
lot
may
of time.
die. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But it's not too difficult, but that way you have that route open. At least that's what I used to do, is I just put the route in and then it was open. And then you can find yourself on the route, and that's it. You basically just follow.
okay.
There's no smoke.
There's no smoke. No smoke.
No smoke. Okay. So we, basically I'm watching these routes. You can take different ones. We did Great Escape.
Okay.
And that was the last time I did this trail. We did a different one. I think we kept on Bull's Run.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we diverted because one of the guides that took us on some other trails told us it was a good way to go. It takes you away from the road that these parallel, and it's same stuff. It just keeps following slick rocks, slightly downhill, lots of canyons. There's really cool scenic. You can look over valleys. You're up on these huge mesas looking over these things. And then Great Escape hooks up with Gold Bar climb. And the Gold Bar climb is the hardest part of the trail. That one was, you basically have gotten to the lowest point for the most part, and that's the place you can bail. So if you are not sure if you want to do techie stuff on this trail, you can go out a trail called Gemini Bridges Road, and that'll take you out. You still need to do it as a shuttle, or you can turn around. Gold Bar is kind of the turnaround point, the point of no return.
Yeah.
And so that's mostly Jeep Road. You go up to, what is Gold Bar? 2.3 miles, and you basically get to the top of the edge of the rim of one of these mesas. And you're looking over Arches National Park. It's beautiful. Like you can see the arches. Like you can.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, Arches.
I didn't realize it was that close to Moab.
It's right there. In fact, as you go on this Gold Bar, you curve around a little bit and you look at the town of Moab. You're right above Moab.
Right.
So in fact, so you do, Gold Bar is one of my favorites, and it's the one that it's frustrating because I would say by the time you get there, you are wiped. It's pretty hard trail. Even though you did another 10 or 15 miles of slight downhill to get to where you're going, you're still picking your bike up over these ledges and down these ledges, and a lot of muscular work. And then when you climb Gold Bar, we usually have lunch, and we're right on the edge, looking over Arches, looking over the highway, and you can see the Bar M trails. You can see the river. Like it's awesome. And it's hundreds of feet down. So right there after lunch, you start Gold Bar Rim Trail.
Yep.
And it is my favorite section. It takes you through the rocks. And so you're up on this ledge. You can see the cliff on the left side. You're not like right on it. It's maybe 6 to 10 feet, in most cases, and sometimes farther away. And then on the right, the whole mesa slopes down into the canyon. And so it's like this kind of looks like a ramp. And so you're on the top edge going along the edge. And the trail takes you up and down these stacked rocks and all these obstacles. And so you're going down these obstacles, and they'll stack rocks to make it able to get down them. Sometimes there's a drop, and then stacked rocks to get you up. And so you have to use balance. There's decent consequences. You're not going to fall off a cliff, but it's going to hurt. And it's really muscular. It's not a little cardio, but a lot muscular, getting up and over. And so then you basically do this Gold Bar Rim, and it's about 3.6 miles. So if you weren't wiped at lunch, you're definitely wiped now. Yeah. And that's when you get to the portal entrance. And it basically, you can do portal, which is 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
Or if you chicken out, which some people do.
Did you have anyone tricking out on your team?
No, because here's the logic. If you chicken out, you have to go 9.2 miles on a dirt Jeep road, which is probably, the 4x4s do, which is probably super sandy and up and down. And so if you aren't wiped, walking 2.5 miles
sounds better than
riding 9.2 miles at that point.
Yeah.
And so I talked everyone into it. So once you get to portal, you're on that rim trail, and you're basically at an edge where basically that mesa slopes down towards the river, and the canyon starts to climb on your right. So you're basically going down. It looks like a ramp, but but it's narrow. And the first obstacle you get to is a hard left, and it's chunky. And so they kind of call it a qualifier. You know, I don't know if you ever 4x4, but sometimes at the entrance of 4x4 trails, they'll put a big hump so that people don't take their Caprice, you know, on the 4x4 trail.
Yeah.
And so you got to have clearance, you know, and they'll kind of have these qualifiers. And so the first obstacle you have is this left, and it goes down. It's chunky and hard to go down. And I think I dabbed, but I rode it. And then basically it's pretty smooth going. It's not super exposed. And then it starts to get narrower and narrower, this ramp that you're going down. That's basically until it finally, the cliff is on your right.
Yeah.
It's no longer you on top. You now see the cliff on your right. You're on this ramp that keeps getting narrower, and it starts to get down to about 2 to 3 feet in some areas.
Jesus.
And then you've got a 200-foot cliff on your left.
So it's saying here that it's, in some cases, as high as 1,300 feet.
That's easy. Yeah, I totally get that, because 200 doesn't seem that high.
No.
And when you're at the beginning of it, you're really high. You're really
might
up
fall
there.
200 feet, and then you're going to roll another 200 feet.
Yeah. Like it's 200 sheer, and then to a, you know, like to a tapered, and keep going. So it's really, I mean, it's crazy. It's so scenic though. You're looking over, I think it's Colorado River, and Moab right there.
Yeah.
And you can see this river winding through these cliffs, and you see them on the other side. You can see the tiny little cars down at the bottom. And eventually, you know, after a little while, as it narrows, you get to a sign. The sign, everybody takes a picture of the sign because it says something like, "Dismount now." You know, people have died. People just like you. I think that's almost word for word what it says.
People just like you.
Yeah, and it's showing pictures of a guy like.
Did you guys take a picture of that sign?
Oh, everybody does. Yeah.
Can you send that to me? We'll use that for this episode.
Yeah. So right after that sign, the reason they put that sign is you basically have this giant rock that's fallen that's blocking the trail, and it's kind of hanging over, and you have to go around it, and then there's 2 more rocks that you have to hop up onto and then go over and then get back onto the trail. And so it's really easy because you're kind of poked out
to fall off.
And so now people ride this. If you watch some of the videos, you'll see the guys ride these, and it's insane.
You didn't ride that section?
Hell no. I'm not that dumb. No. I mean, I don't want to sound like a Superman. I dab a lot, and there's a couple spots that I'll walk. Once you get past that point, it's pretty much, you just have to watch your step. It's still narrow, and there's a bunch of shelves you have to go up, and sometimes the shelves are at angles, so you got to really watch out for those. So if you're going up a curb, like that's what I mean when I say a shelf, like something that's like 6 to 8 inches high.
Yep.
You got to lift your foot up. When it's at an angle, it's easy to get your front wheel up, but your rear wheel, usually you don't lift up.
It will slide down.
It will slide. And so that is one of the things that I see a lot of people make mistakes. They'll hit that off angle curb, and they'll slide the back end, and then they'll fall. And so you got to watch out for those.
Did you guys have anyone fall on the trail?
No, luckily no. Most people were walking in the really scary places. The cool thing about the trail is once you get past that sign, and probably I'd say a quarter mile at the most, it starts to get wider.
So you feel safer.
Yeah, you start to have boulders that are on your left instead of a cliff. And you get into this kind of chute, and you're like, yeah, it's super techy. There's a couple corners where there are super steep switchbacks that are like drop after drop after drop, and you're turning while you're dropping, and there's just stacks of rocks. And I love going through that stuff. And when I make it, I'm just stoked, you know, and sometimes it's so narrow, your bars don't even want to fit. And you come around the corner and you've made it, and you're like, woohoo, you know, you're just shouting, and it's just awesome. And you're not really as scared about falling off a cliff. You still can flip over and smack into rocks, you know, so it's still consequences.
But the price is probably not death.
Yeah. It's broken bones, and then you got to walk out. But and then once you get through those sections, it starts to open up and turns into this high speed. I love it. It's high speed, hootin', techie, like reminds me of downhill racing, because you're still have to maneuver, and you're coming in hot, and you have to hit these drops to get through them. But it's wide open. You're no longer near a cliff, and that ramp that you're coming down is turning into slick rock in places, and then you have to get up a little shelf and then go traverse some dirt, and then you finally get into rock again. And finally, when you finally get down to the bottom, it turns into gravel, which is the craziest thing, and then just pops you out on a road. And usually everybody's parked along that road, and that's where your shuttle picks you up. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's one of my favorites. And so here's the interesting thing about Portal. When we got done, everybody hated me.
Damn you, Dane.
They were like pissed. They were like, most of them walked. I think it took a couple hours.
That's like type 3 fun.
Oh yeah. So
it's like not fun at the time, but it's fun when you're telling the story later.
The guy picking us up was the best because he took a bunch of washcloths from the hotel and stuck them in a cooler full of wet water. And so when we got to the bottom, we had all these wet, super cold washcloths we could put on us because it was really hot. It wasn't middle of the summer. It was still pretty hot. And we're hanging out. We have drinks. We have a cooler. We're hanging out. And I think I was one of the first ones down. Bert. And
there was someone in front of you on the video.
Bert. Yeah. Because when we stopped to take pictures, Bert kept going. And so, and he's kind of like that. He's like, I'm going to do it. And he wrote most of it. He did a good job. I was really, really.
Do you guys have anyone on your team that's named Ernie?
No, but that would be cool.
You should.
So yeah,
you could be Ernie.
Because then Bert could ride with Ernie.
Yeah.
So
I know an Ernie.
Do you?
He's a nice guy.
Does he mountain bike?
Yeah, but he hates e-bikes.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
He doesn't hate them.
Dude, he's the guy.
He's a ripper.
Right.
He
Do you own
hate him,
Do you own an e-bike?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I race them. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. Yeah. Wait, no e-bikes. I thought we weren't going to talk about e-bikes.
No, we're good. We're
Okay.
good.
All right. So
I've got a list here from Single Tracks of based on their user rating, like the 17 most difficult trails in the world. And I'm just curious because like these things are like, I don't know that I could ever ride any of these things. And I'm pretty sure you guys have ridden some of these.
One's got to be in Peru. Tell me there's one in Peru.
Well, let me go down them and I'll just see. And this is going to start with the easiest and go to the hardest. So the Deer Creek Canyon, Littleton, Colorado.
Never been there.
Nope.
Nope.
Tower, San Luis Obispo, California.
Nope.
I've seen a video on that one. I don't.
Where's San Luis Obispo near? Is that near San Diego or LA?
I think it's north, right? Like more Sacramento, San Francisco. I think.
Okay, I'm gonna
Don't quote me. Someone's going to comment and give us some hate.
Put that on the list.
Sorry to our California folks.
Okay.
Lunatic Fringe, Green River, West Virginia.
Nope.
No, that's Wyoming.
Oh, it's Wyoming.
River,
Sorry,
Wyoming.
thank you.
No. Yeah.
WY. Ridgeway Loop, Elijah, Georgia.
Nope.
Moraine State Park, Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Nope.
Portal.
Oh yeah.
We talked about Portal. Dirt Digger Downhill.
Done that.
Fernie, BC, Canada.
Yep. Done that.
Done that one.
Yep.
Wasatch Trail and Telluride.
I've ridden in Telluride. I don't know if I rode that trail, to be honest with you. I rode a lot. I feel like I rode a lot up there, but.
So we did the Hopper and all those ones on the mountain, but I don't know if it's on the mountain or not.
I don't think this is. I
rode the Blacks at Telluride and they were not hard.
Yeah, so the Telluride Bike Park is chill. Like, I mean, it's got steep tech or whatever for bike park, but I did the Big Mountain Enduro. That was tough. That was a tough day on a bike.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have to go up in Telluride, it's going to be a tough day.
Just because of the altitude? Or?
Yeah. You start at 10.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Start.
Seriously. That's
like
big.
Leadville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, that was a big day. And I don't remember doing anything too crazy. I remember going up a trail where the locals were like, why are you guys going up that? Like, literally, you're going the wrong way.
Okay.
But,
what else?
All right. So I was Wasatch. Elizabeth Furnace, Front Royal, Virginia. Probably no. 5 Miles of Hell, Green River, Utah.
No.
I have heard of that.
Have you?
Yep. I've heard of it.
Doesn't sound appealing.
It is. I don't remember who I was talking to, but they legitimately said it was super, super difficult.
Okay.
Garbanzo at Whistler.
Yes. Done that.
So that's number 11 out of 17. So we're getting pretty hard here.
Okay.
Oklahoma Ankle Express hiking trail.
Oklahoma's flat.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's like number 12.
There's no way.
Yeah.
We're gonna have someone call. Someone's gonna call in from Oklahoma like, you have no idea.
They took our mountain.
No offense. I don't even know if people from Oklahoma have a southern accent, but that's good.
Now you guys are getting a little.
We're gonna get some hate mail for sure.
That's South Park. I don't even know what that accent is.
Hurricane Creek in Cullman, Alabama.
No.
RG Winter Park, Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania. There actually is some mountains in Pennsylvania.
I've heard Pennsylvania.
I've been to
super
Whitetail in Pennsylvania. So
I did the 24 Hours of Big Bear in West Virginia, just west of just south of Pennsylvania. That was gnarly.
Yeah.
That was
They have
gnarly.
roots. They do have some serious rocks.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And I'll never forget this, man. The lady that came out when we pulled into the state park, she had no shoes and no teeth.
No way.
I'm not kidding. And so one of the teams said, "Ride fast, I hear banjos." They had that on their shirts.
That's awesome.
But it was a great trail. It was a great. I don't mean to be disparaging, but it was a great experience. But just that part of the country, Morgan Territory, Livermore, California.
No.
North Star Ski Resort.
Yep. Oh,
Truckee,
yeah.
California.
Yep. Yeah. Which one?
It just says North Star. It doesn't
There's
have
some
a
easy
specific-
ones there, but what is it? Dogbone, and I think it's called Reaper. I can't remember. There's a couple really hard ones at North Shore.
Bar Trail, Pikes Peak, Colorado Springs.
We could probably have some gear
I
in.
think I did that one. I think if it's lower Pikes Peak, I think I did that one.
That's the hardest one on the list.
We could ask.
So you've got your like bucket list right here.
Yeah.
Of like
Yeah.
trails you guys need to go ride.
Yeah, and we've only done like one or two of them.
Yeah.
So
All right. So going off of that, since Dane and I are kind of same level-ish,
Yeah.
what is the hardest trail you have ridden, Josh?
Oh, that's a good question.
So not that much.
Painter Boy.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the one at the 24 I took you.
But Painter Boy wasn't that hard. It wasn't technical. It was just like overgrown.
Yeah.
So if we use like Angel Fire as an example, you've been to Angel Fire, obviously. So I've ridden everything at Angel Fire, I think, besides like the downhill and like Upper Supreme.
Okay.
So I've ridden everything there. Like some of the harder things, I'd say I survived. Like the simple blacks, I can make it down and have a great time. All the blues, I can make it down and have a great time. Like trails like Angel Plunge, if you remember that on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Some of those switchbacks, I couldn't make it down.
Okay.
Those like super steep switchbacks.
Yeah.
I almost fell off the bridge that goes over the canyon.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was raining. My back wheel fell off and
Chicken wires wore out.
Yeah, chicken wire.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. But I've been up there about 5 times. That's the only bike park I've been to is Angel Fire.
Oh.
So I don't know if that gives you like I read Prison Camp, but I've never done Bug Springs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to
What
get
about
on
you?
trails.
What about you, Dane? What's the hardest trail that you can remember trying to ride?
It's not on that list, but if I do bike parks, Durango, Purgatory.
I'm going there in a week or 2 weeks.
There's a trail. I think it's called Lucky. Look that up on your phone.
Yep.
It is like I had to scoot down on my butt on this trail. It's so steep and nasty and loose and like roots and powder. Like it takes everything that you don't want to ride and throws it in one trail and then puts it so steep you can't walk down it. Like I had to scoot down and like lower my bike with my arm and then scoot down and then lower my bike. That's how steep this trail was. That's one of the hardest I've ever been on. And we raced that mountain during the World Cup, and there's another section that we went through the trees that was all roots. It was like just this carpet steepness of roots that we ended up just crashing. Like you're just like, okay, how can we crash without getting hurt and then get up fast and keep racing? Because everybody crashed there. So those kinds of things are what are my hardest,
So the hardest trails they have listed there is one called Lynx.
Lynx, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
The
then
Lynx
and then
is
the World Cup downhill.
Yeah,
of
if
course.
you start Lynx just to look at it, you're gonna have to scoot down it, because otherwise you got to walk way back up because you start into it, and that's the ones that get me, the ones that you start. The Whistler, there was a bunch that have skinnies. Anytime I get on a skinny,
right, yeah.
I can't do
Don't do
those.
skinnies.
And there's a couple, not A line or B line.
Those are easy, right? They're just big
Joyride,
jumps.
I think, yeah. There's one, I can't remember. I loved it, except it took you into these skinnies. And so, and then they start you low and wide,
Yeah.
more stockies, not skinnies. And so they're wide.
Fatties.
And then fatties. Yeah, it goes fatties
said
and
earlier
stockies. And
Exactly what I said earlier today.
But then they start raising them off the ground. Like you're off the ground like a
They're still
foot.
fatties.
They're fatties and you're off a foot, and then they go to stockies and then you're 2 feet off the ground, and then they go to skinnies and you're like 4 feet off the ground. And I'm like, I couldn't handle them. I crashed like 3 times. So those get me all the time. So
We don't do a lot of skinnies here in Arizona. That's
no,
not our
wood
thing.
doesn't last. One thing I noticed about
cedar.
that's what I noticed about Whistler is it's all cedar up there. They just cut up a tree and then just plank it out, and it's cedar.
It lasts forever.
Yeah, it really does.
What about you, Justin? What's the hardest trail you've ridden?
It's funny because there's sections of trail that are hard, but the whole trail not be that bad.
Right.
So like in different areas, like I think about a couple of obstacles on Hangover.
Yeah.
Right. Like one obstacle on Highline. In Grand Junction, there's a trail on the Tabawaki trails. I can't remember exactly what the name of the trail system is out there. It's really weird. American Indian name, but, the Lunch Loops, Eagle's Wing has a really techy section in there. Like it's full commit, and like it's almost full commit to where you don't have time to slow down. So you have to go through them all at the same time. So it's pretty legit. That one was pretty hard. Flying Monkey.
Oh yeah. Well, and we didn't even try Kong.
Where's Flying Monkey? Is Moab, right?
Yeah. No,
Utah?
that's, near Hurricane.
Okay. Hurricane.
Yeah. And it's on the same mountain as a lot of the Red Bull. It's just around the side
Rampage.
a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you hear? Was it you that keeps telling me how that got its name?
Yeah. So they legitimately used to fire monkeys off of that cliff off of rockets back when they sent monkeys to space.
Yeah.
Was like,
Shut up.
Not joking.
That can't be true.
They would put them on rocket sleds.
Oh, Jesus
that
Christ.
were up there and to check G-forces.
We're gonna have to fact check that.
no, that's what
It's true.
That's the truth,
and when
man.
you go up there, you go next to it, right?
Yeah,
and there's a big fenced area.
I'm
that you have to
I'm Google searching. You guys keep talking.
do it right now.
But like even just the entrance to Kong, like you called it a qualifier. So
Yeah, that's a
I've heard it
qualifier.
called a squirrel catcher.
Yeah, squirrel catcher.
Like
yeah.
it is.
I don't understand
legit.
squirrel catcher.
We don't have squirrels here, so I don't know either.
Okay,
but, yeah, like that entrance to that is legit. And I want to try Kong.
Dude, when we looked at it, you did a drop was like 5 feet to 6 feet to like no landing, right? And then you had to do a drop again. I can't remember what it was, but it was like we all looked at it. There was no takeoff. Like you had to do a drop.
It was like a slab that had a gap that you had to pull into a drop, right?
Into a drop, yeah.
And then kind of into a chute with two rocks on either side. So you basically had to like grab a bunch of brakes after you do a big pull off of a sloped slab with a gap at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then thread through these two big rocks, and then there's a drop after that.
Yep.
And then after that, it settles down, and you can take your time and pick your way down. But like just that squirrel catcher, DJ Brandt, Rampe rider from Grand Junction, broke his femur there.
Ah, jeez.
Okay, so it's been confirmed.
What'd you find out?
In the 50s, they had this thing called the Supersonic Military Air Resource Track on Hurricane Mesa. Chimpanzees were used as test subjects by the U.S. Air Force as part of an air and space research program. Tests on the Mesa used crash test dummies instead. Interesting.
Yeah.
These parachute-clad dummies were strapped to rocket sled to test the effects of high-speed flights and injections. Wow, so they actually did use chimpanzees for a minute, it sounds like. And then at some point...
I'm sure somebody was like,
they got the 1950s. They got the 1950s level of like, politically correct, and we stopped using chimpanzees.
But yeah, that trail's called Flying Monkey now.
Hey, dad joke.
Okay.
Oh, another one.
Maybe that's why they call them boomers.
Oh man, I don't know. That's hard to connect.
That's weird. That's weird. All right.
I'm reaching.
Okay, so we talked about Portal.
We talked about Portal. So last week, my wife, my kid had a soccer clinic up in Flagstaff at Northern Arizona University, a small mountain town in kind of in the north part of Arizona. Beautiful. I think it's like at 6,000 feet. 7,000 feet. There's a ski resort there, Snow Bowl, or Arizona Snow Bowl. And she's like, we're going to go. It's going to be great. We're going to ride all week. And I've ridden up there before, and I used to do a race up there. What was the race?
Not the barn burner.
Yeah, I used to do the barn burner every year. And one year that it got rained out, and we actually went and rode, and we rode kind of like all along the Walnut Creek. And it was all kind of pretty mellow, like cross-country trails, whatever. And they got the Fort Tut Hill Bike Park there, which is pretty
nice.
Cool. It's got a cool pump track. It's got some big giant dirt jumps, like mountain bike dirt jumps, not so much like dirt jumps. It's got some skinnies or fatties.
It's got everything. Like it's a pretty cool. I really like it. It's a great park.
And there's a little cross country course that goes around it too. It's not super tech or anything, but so we had fun at the bike park. But I was not expecting it to be fun at all. One of our local guys here, part of SDMB, Mike Mucker. I know you know Mike. You might know Mike, but Mike was up there that same week, and he had worked with one of the trail builders up there and gotten a list of like, here's the places that you have to ride. So we had like this really specific list of things to do.
Okay.
And we rode a bunch.
Yeah.
We rode 6 to 7 days, but 2 trails stood out to me that I want to talk about. And the first one was it's called Full Sail.
Okay, and that's new, right?
It's brand new.
Okay.
I think it just opened like a week ago or something.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
it was fresh.
Yeah.
It's well, hang on, I got a little red up here. So it's a machine built flow trail, numerous tabletops, jumps, berms, and other challenging features. Optional easier lines, which is 100% true. So you can roll rather than jump, everything. It's built by Flagline Trails. They're a local trail and bike park builder. And it was funded by Katina Foundation. Anyways, 2.9 miles.
Okay.
And it's connected to like a whole bunch of other trails. So you kind of,
So where is this at?
so it's
Is it near Buffalo Park or?
no, so it's Schultz Creek area.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Schultz.
So we park at the base of Schultz Creek, and then there's like a 7 mile kind of like just dirt road that you
Yeah.
ride up. And then you cut over on trails. There's about another 3 or 4 miles up. So it's a pretty hefty climb. I mean, it was 2,800 feet climb to get up
Yeah,
to
That's a
Full
long
Sail.
ways.
But then then you do this amazing flow trail, and then it's all downhill. And there's 50 different ways that you can come down from there, and all different kinds of topography and difficulty of the trails. And we tried a bunch of different ways down, but we absolutely loved it. So if you're in the Flagstaff area, go check out Full Sail. It's worth the climb.
Yeah.
And then the other thing we did was the AZT Arizona Trail section that's called San Francisco Peaks.
Okay.
And we parked up at the top we shuttled up to the top of Arizona Snow Bowl.
Okay.
We parked in the parking lot, and then we rode 20 miles back down into town,
Yeah.
which was outside of like a 3 mile section. You have to climb for a minute,
Yeah.
all downhill the whole way.
Yep. Yeah.
And at the top, there's about a 4 mile stretch of what I'd call like from my perspective, like a high blue, not a black trail, but like a high blue. I mean, it was 4 miles of tech. You were
Yeah.
the whole time you were teching, and you could go around stuff, but
Yeah.
you could go over stuff, but it was just amazing to like park at the ski resort and then ride 20 miles down.
Yeah.
Flagstaff's got amazing restaurants and stuff. And we went and had beers and had some lunch at the brewery down there, and
Yeah.
just a great time. So those two, so if you end up in Flagstaff, worth checking out. Full Sail, worth checking out the AZT part called San Francisco Peaks.
Yeah. San Francisco, you had to do as a shuttle.
You don't have to. You can actually go down the backside of it, and it's 12.5 miles total from
Okay.
like the road where you normally get off, which
Yeah.
is kind of the road that goes up to, and then it goes all the way down to the backside, and you turn around and you come back.
Okay.
And that's what Mucker did.
Okay.
But we were with my son, who he's 15 and doesn't want to pedal at all.
That sounds like my 13-year-old.
Sounds like
So
me.
a 20 mile downhill, and he was on an e-bike.
Yeah.
But a 20 mile downhill was just up his alley.
Yeah.
And he's one of these kids that like we take him. He doesn't ride much. He's grown up at the Premises Skate Park, or if I don't know if you've been inside Premises Park, but he's got that air awareness. And we take him to Angel Fire like once a year.
Yep.
And he goes down like, I don't know if you know the trail,
Can't-
Hungry Hippos. Like,
Oh,
as
yeah.
an
Hungry
example.
Hippo's huge.
And he hits every jump blind.
Yeah.
Clears everything, like full send, and clears everything. He just has that perfect like timing and air awareness, and he knows how to like do everything that you do to do that shit. It's amazing watching him. So he's really good at technical, really good at downhill.
Helps that he's built dirt jumps in your yard.
We do have a double half pipe in my house, and
Yeah.
we have dirt jumps at the house and all that stuff. So yeah,
Except they built them uphill.
No.
Yeah. Like you come off and you go into the backyard and it's uphill.
so the plan for there's we're going to go on our big rabbit hole now, but the plan for that was we were going to build a platform off the half pipe.
Yeah.
So, the half pipe on that side, I think is 12 feet tall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we were going to build a little place where you can where you can push your bike up.
Yep.
And then a good platform down. And then you have a little bit of uphill there.
Towards
and then-
the road?
No, away from the road.
Away from the road.
Away from the road. And then they have the start of dirt jumps all along the back of my fence. So it was going to be about, 7 jumps.
So then they would go slightly uphill, but they have that ramp.
And then everything's down. Then everything's downhill from there.
And then it'd be
all the way
downhill.
around. Yeah. So, that was the only way we could do it.
Yeah. That's cool. There's pros that do that stuff with their houses. You go to their house and like the backyard is all dirt jumps. And
Yeah, I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to bring one of the jumps up over our fence.
Yeah.
Right. So I have like, so they jump into the backyard and then cruise and then jump out of the backyard.
That would be,
yeah. But I would never ride that, but that's their stuff. Anyways, that's Flagstaff.
Okay.
And then the last thing I thought we could talk about today, you guys just recently took a trip to Big Bear.
Yep. Yeah.
And they've got the 2 parks there, Snow Valley and Snow Summit.
Yep.
Tell me about it, man. I've never been there.
I want to add one thing to Flagstaff.
Shoot.
If you are looking for Max NAR in Flagstaff,
Max NAR,
you go for private reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta
Private
ride that.
reserve.
I'm not
super.
Where is that? Is
super
that in that
techy.
Wasatch or that? Where's it at?
It's hard to describe.
Is
Like
it
I
near
went
Schultz,
up there.
or?
Yeah, it's in the Schultz Creek area.
Okay.
I went looking for it, and I ended up at the bottom of it because I wasn't reading my map correctly, like a dummy. I was on the e-bike, so I wasn't totally host, but there's no way to go up it. Like I would have had to gone around, and at that point, I was already 3,000 feet into it, and I was over it. But I've watched plenty of videos of it.
Yeah.
And even on, the GoPro effect makes stuff looks like kind of,
Yeah.
Make it look small.
it's still legit.
Is there a lot of exposure on it?
Not a lot of exposure, but a lot of big rocks and a lot of rolls to hucks. And there's a couple of like log jumps and at the very, very end of it, you're going into a drainage and there's a really big slab.
Cool.
And it looks,
I'm not going to let my wife listen to this episode.
I would call that one pro line, like not double black,
but like beyond double black.
We got to go up there.
Yep.
So
Yeah, dude, you should. I'm going to be up there with the 4th. Were you guys going somewhere in the 4th?
I've ridden random little stuff up there, just nothing that big. Schultz Creek, I rode all the way up Schultz, turned around, came down Schultz.
But there's like 50 trails that shoot
they're
off
all
from
over,
there.
but they're not signed. They're hard to figure out.
They are signed.
No, not when I rode them.
Okay.
So I haven't ridden in a long time.
They've done a good job. The trails are all in good shape.
Yeah.
They're signed really well.
I think they did a lot after the fires, and they just had a lot of money to go refurb, and they've been able to do a lot more. And I just haven't been there since then. I mean, the last big trail that I did there was Wasabi, and that's been washed out for years.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the only thing about out there, I'll tell you, is that like everywhere we rode was like that fine, like baby powder,
moon dust,
and like moon dust. And I literally stopped. I know you're not supposed to do this, Dan. You're not going to like this, but I stopped at the car wash every
just
day.
spray your bike off.
But I didn't use the high
Bike
power.
hates you.
I
You know
didn't
your
use
bike hates you.
It doesn't. It loves me. It loves me. It loves me. I did it really light from really far away, so it wasn't high pressure. I wasn't forcing water, but I had to get that shit off.
I just want to let you know that next time you crash and you think it was just out of the blue for no reason, that's your bike
Telling me don't wash me.
getting you back. Yeah.
Yeah. Dane hates it.
So for our international listeners, it is so dry out here that literally you can go 5 years without replacing a bottom bracket or headset or hub bearings. But
Suspension bearing, nothing.
if you blow the grease out, it's over.
Yeah.
Like you got to build that little like dirt cake barrier and then you're gold for 5 years.
Yep. It's true.
Dead serious.
It's true. Now, for all the PNW listeners, they got to wash their bike. They do, but they have to do bearings and all that. But we're just so spoiled here. That,
Super spoiled.
When I see rusty bearings, I'm like, well, you're just
How do you get
washing.
rusty bearings in Arizona? I mean, even if you spray
wash
them with
your
water,
bike too much.
in 15 minutes, they're bone dry. Like, how do they rust?
No,
Like,
see, that's common sense, and it's bike sense. Bike sense is different because the water goes straight into the bearing and sits there.
here we go. Okay, so
Big Bear.
So Big Bear. Let's talk about Big Bear.
So
where's Big Bear at first of all?
Big Bear's California. It's up on the mountains above San Bernardino. I don't know what the San
It's right
Bernardino
outside.
mountains.
It's right outside of Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Like an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was an hour and 45 minutes east because I looked to fly into LAX and then drive up there.
Yeah, and it's this big lake, which is awesome. That's up there. There's a whole city. That's one thing that I wanted to tell people because when we were switching from Angel Fire to Big Bear.
Wait, tell that story. Why did you switch from Angel Fire?
So the trip originally was going to Angel Fire and for a Father's Day trip, and we had it all booked and set, and their lifts broke. Their lifts broke so bad they had to get a part from Switzerland. And this part was
multiple parts,
but these parts were so big that they had to be forklift into the back of a truck. They're like, we're not talking like tiny little things, or a computer board or anything like that. We're talking about huge.
I saw that Tucker Van Ormer drove to Denver International Airport. Shout out to Tucker.
So the lift was broken for like a week.
Yeah, right when
it's
we
still
were going to
down,
be there.
right? I mean, they don't have it up yet.
It's supposed to be this weekend, hopefully.
Yeah.
So so we switched to Big Bear, and a lot of people hadn't been there, so we had to kind of let them know. And Big Bear is a city. Like there's a school. There's a zoo, there's a lake, there's a marina, there's cabins, there's 3 ski resorts, 3 or 4, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, there's 2 that do bikes, and I think a couple that just do ski. And they have, it's a full on city. Like people live there year round. It's beautiful. Pine trees.
It's like 8,000 feet at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the top,
at the top of the resort?
Something like that.
Is it? I can't remember.
So it's not,
still was out of breath.
Super high.
I feel like I was out of breath. But
It's not crazy high, but 8,000 feet.
Yeah.
So, and then Big Bear was bought. I don't know how, if they bought the mountain or if they just bought the business or whatever, but Big Bear Mountain Resorts now owns, I think, Mammoth and Snow Summit. And Snow Summit, by the way, used to be the mecca for downhill. Like that was the place that everyone went. We raced
that's where
there.
we were at.
Yeah, and we raced there like 8 times a year at times for the national races and all kinds of stuff. Sea Otter?
Yeah.
Before Sea Otter, everybody would show up to Big Bear. And that was where the new products would be shown.
Oh, I think I remember this. This was like back in the 70s or something?
No, God damn you.
I love it.
1912. No, it was in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
So,
that's when you started Social Security.
yes, exactly. So that's when I retired.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we hit Friday. We hit a place called Snow Valley. I keep getting the names. It's a smaller mountain on the way.
Yeah.
And they actually open on Fridays from 1 to 7 at night.
Like at lights or something? Or no, they
No,
don't
it's
need
still
to.
it's
Yeah,
still light.
Yeah.
And Big Bear Mountain Resorts, I believe, is what they are, bought them. So we just found that out. So they're starting to revamp that mountain. That mountain's pretty dusty and sandy. We had a blast. We had a good time. There's building more and more trails. We're going to see that thing blow up.
Looks like there's a half a dozen trails or so.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. And they have that hub design. So you take the lift up.
Yep.
And then they have certain hubs where you get together and then you get to pick 2 or 3 trails. And that's becoming a big design. So like you start a trail at the top, that has a hub and there's like 3 or 4 trails to choose. Then you ride down and then they all connect at the bottom and then you can pick 3 or 4 different trails. So you can basically link different starts and ends and middles. So it's kind of cool.
Right on.
Keeps it fresh. So that was Friday. That was a great trails, and the fact that we could ride late. So
Was good.
Yeah, and then the rest of the week.
So, I mean, what were the trails like? Were they, you said they were sandy, but
Super
it was
dusty.
Super dusty. But I mean,
it's
was
real
it
dry.
more flow? Was it more tech? Like what was
Way
it?
more flow there.
Okay.
Way more, I would say, beginner orientated there. Jumps are all tables, pretty easy. There's some drops. One of our guys crashed and almost broke his ribs.
Oh, no.
So on one of the drops, because you come off a rock and it just drops, and then you land into the sandy mess and it's just tire went out. So. Pretty fun though. And they had a jump line that was pretty big. There was only a couple guys hitting it and a couple drops, which was really cool. A little bit of natural terrain, but really flowy, big berms. The flow trails at mountain parks are at a higher speed. So the berms are really high. It's really cool. And so holding your line and making around as fast as you can is challenging. It's fun. Some people, again, perspective, to me, that's fun. That's easy. That's like green trail. But we have some riders with us that have never ridden those berms and they're not doing the speeds we are. And if you can't hit that berm at a certain speed, you just fall down. It's like going around a wall. Like you're almost wall riding. And so you lose perspective that if a rider comes in slower, they can't hold it against that berm and they actually fall to the middle. And
they'll end up in the bottom, and the bottom is just basically marbles.
Yeah, and we had one rider do that. They fell down to the bottom. They started up on the thing and fell
Just
down.
came in too slow.
Yeah, and didn't get hurt or anything, but it's like you forget, like, because Justin and I ride faster and we don't really think about it.
Yeah.
We're like, how could you not ride a berm? It's like pavement, but it's pavement at a 45 degree.
Yeah, you got to twist your hips, point your knees.
Yep. Oh yeah. I don't know. I just go.
Yeah, you just go. I'm taking all these coaching sessions so I can get better, right? So I know all the technique, but I watch you. I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to ride. And then I see you coming down so fast. I'm like, how the hell you do no dropper? What the hell?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is what I told my son. So my son doesn't ride a lot.
Yeah. Was he with you on this trip?
I built my
13.
old. 13, and he's a little 13 too.
Yeah.
So he's under 100
But he's a
pounds.
ripper, man.
He's like, I don't know, 4'7". He's short.
Okay.
But he's got strength and he's got determination and the willingness to learn. And that's all it really
That's all you
takes,
need.
right?
That's all you need, man.
So
Those 3 things.
The biggest thing was like he saw like Dane and I ripping around a corner. He's like, I don't understand how you can go out in a corner that fast. And it's like, if you have support, like a berm, you have support, level pedals.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop an outside pedal. You don't have to deal with like the whole hip thing and all that kind of stuff. It's really not that necessary.
Yeah.
Now
That's not what my coach would say, Justin.
I'm just telling
Well,
you.
it depends on the berm.
Depends on what you're riding. Like, but if you're on like prison camp and it's on off camber wackiness, and you have no support. Yeah. You better drop a pedal. You better like point your hips, point your knees, get your weight over that foot, like drive that front tire into the ground. Like it's a completely different technique.
I think I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
There's kind of two cornering techniques that pop up, and I feel like people get confused on when to use them. And
that would be me. So if you can demystify that right now.
So like
awesome.
One is where you lean the bike and you keep your body up, and that's weighting the outside pedal. And then the other one is when you lean with the bike. And so you have to have the speed and the support. Yes, yeah. The berm has to be, your gravity is taking you towards the terrain. If the terrain isn't going to be there, if you slip, then you can't use that technique. You have to weight the outside pedal. And so like off camber or even small berms, like at some of the smaller trails like Fantasy Island, you have to use that, drop the bike, weight the outside and keep your center of gravity over the tires that are in contact. But when you hit a berm, you're cornering at the same angle as the bike. You don't drop the bike, and you come around, and that's where you see pictures of guys with their handlebars close to the ground, and stuff. It's because that berm is supporting them. Otherwise they would go flying
over.
Yeah.
And my God. Did you see the guy at Leo Gang last week?
Yeah. That ended up in the media.
I know we're not supposed to talk about downhill racing because everyone else does, but that was a crazy race.
It was cool because I think he landed it. Like he pretty much got
looked
over.
Like he launched and then landed on his bike and then
just fell off.
Yeah, bucked out the front.
Yeah,
there were people like parting of the Red Seas. Come over the top of that giant wood wall.
Yeah, I've blown a berm, and it's scary because you are going fast. I mean, we're hitting these things at, I don't know what speeds we're doing because I don't use any metrics, but probably 20 to 30 miles
You
an
use
hour.
metrics. What speeds are you doing when you hit those?
It depends on the size of the berm, and what leads into it. Like it's so variable.
Yeah.
So, you can go out to the pump track and you can rip around that thing at like an easy 10 to 15 mile an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot.
Yeah.
You're pumping and humping, and then you hit a corner that's got like a radius,
tight
maybe
radius,
like 20 feet.
Yeah. That's a tight term.
It's so hard.
Miles an hour.
Yeah.
At the top of those berms at the pump track, it's 70 degrees.
Yeah.
It gets really tall. So I mean, you can really lean into it and trust that it's going to hold. But
some of the big radius on Turtle, we were just cooking through.
Yeah,
at full speed.
Turtle is where?
So at Big Bear, one of the blues.
This is at Snow Summit?
Or Snow Summit. Yeah, we're going to talk about Snow Summit because Snow Valley was fun, but it's like a 1-day park.
Okay.
At Snow Summit, they have 2 chairlifts. That's kind of cool. It helps alleviate some of the lift lines.
Yeah.
Super
Was it
popular.
busy? Was it busy there?
Super popular on Saturday.
Yeah.
Father's Day was Sunday, and it died.
it was chill.
So yeah, and so it was pretty easy. We were just making it through the lift lines, but they kept the lift lines going. They have 2 bike racks.
Yeah, it's 2 bike racks.
It's kind of weird because you go to other parks where you have a chairlift that holds 4 bikes.
Yeah.
And at Snow Summit they only hold 2. So
Okay. So how long, like on the day that it was busy, how long were the lift lines at Snow Summit?
maybe 5.
So
10
when I
minutes
first
at the
got
most.
there, I got there on Saturday. So these guys are all a day and a half ahead of me. I took me and my son bought half day tickets, 12:30. It was like the meat of the day.
Yep.
And I think it was like 16 minutes for the lift
was
line.
the longest.
Yeah.
And then there's that time up the lift, which I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
12 minutes.
Yeah, 12 minutes. So, but then as the day wears on, people wear out and it thins out and it's not as bad.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then, so back to the trails, Turtle is one of the blues. There's a Going Green, which is one of their greens, and super easy. Flow Trail, forever. Man, you feel like you're riding it forever. There's a little bit of berms.
there's no, baby
Little
berms.
bit of baby berms. It's really like a
Beginner
green trail,
trail.
trail.
Yep.
In fact, one of our riders found a guy in the ditch there, all bloodied up, and he had crashed. Which we were kind of. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but we were kind of joking that only the green trail would have a guy all blood. They took a picture of the blood. Like there.
He was hurt.
There was legit blood. Yeah. So. And then that was pretty boring. Most people can skip that.
Yep.
That's a good scenic route for people that aren't going to a park. They're there because they're their significant want them to show. And they're like, I'm not doing that. Turtle's the first blue that is pretty easy, and it's all berms. It's
the
like
nice
berm.
part about Turtle is that you have berms to practice on.
Yep.
And the thing about bike parks versus just trail riding is you're going twice as fast.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So going into the blue with no jumps, no drops, just berms that you can hold speed and have support. Yep. You're getting used to and like up to speed and being okay going that fast.
Yeah. It's good practice. So you can get used to it. It's not scary. You know, there's a couple jumps that are really low and nothing intimidating.
So like, what's your normal trail speed at a bike park? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh man,
are we talking north of 20 miles an hour? Or?
Probably, I would say like between 15 and 25, and maybe on some of the bigger hills, maybe faster than 25.
Yeah, like Sunrise, when we just go to the trails down the line, we hit 40. But that's just an open. We're going straight down the ski run to get to the trails. So we're just hauling. I know the pros are doing 30 to 40 on some of those sections. So it just depends on how fast you want to go.
Okay.
But they're gravity, so you can pick up serious speed, and you're not even pedaling. You know, which is crazy. Like most of these trails, you don't even hardly need to pedal.
Nope.
Like the gravity just takes you.
Well, and it's funny, like you get on these giant wide, I mean, these are big enough to fit a side by side, like they're wide trails.
Yeah.
And you've got, so a pick and a choose of your line, so to speak, if you want to inside or outside and where you want your support. So
there's a rock here and a rock
it's
there.
like driving. Have you ever driven in LA in the middle of the night?
Oh yes, I have.
And it's like 8 lanes and you're going 100 and it feels like you're going 12.
Yeah.
That's how it is at a bike park.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get down and you're like riding down these things that are, 10, 12, 16 feet wide and you're railing and you're going 30 mile an hour, it doesn't feel like 30.
No.
And then when you shoot off that trail and you go into single track,
into the woods,
you're instantly back down to 10 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Like you're like, holy cow, I'm going
You
way too
feel
fast.
like, on a speeder bike in Star Wars, going through the woods like it's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think my first trip to a bike park, I wore out a brand new set of pads in one day. I'm a heavy rider.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's, I could see that. Yeah.
At Angel Fire where it's steep, especially right out of the gate.
Yep.
Like it's
so is Big Bear as steep as Angel Fire, or is it comparable?
So it's weird because I would say Big Bear is older and as big, maybe not quite as tall, but it doesn't have nearly as many trails. Like Angel Fire.
Angel Fire's got like 70 trails.
They've got everybody beat on the amount of trails they have.
Angel Fire's 1,200 feet or 2,500 feet every lift.
I don't know.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's a steep. It's a big, and it's steeper. So, Big Bear, just is spread out, which is nice. They've got a lot of room. They could put in trails like crazy if they wanted to. I think they have to battle the Forest Service a little bit.
Yeah, where Angel Fire is all privately owned, so they can go out that day and build whatever they want.
Yeah, they're like, let's do a trail, and they do it that day.
We have, just for our listeners, we got a great episode on Angel Fire. I'll put a link in the show notes. We had the bike park manager, Patrick West, and Patrick Farnormer, who builds all the trails. We had both those guys on. So
one thing that's nice is as you go to different parks, you kind of get a feel for like the quality in the builds and how they're doing them and what they're taking into account. So I'll give you an example. Bean Peak, I had a great time. It's awesome for Arizona. There are some things that they
Lacey said that too, that some of the design wasn't as great.
They just need to work. There's one jump that takes you straight into a berm and off of it, if you hit it big. And there's a couple berms at Purgatory. There's a couple berms that change radius in the middle, and that's really unsettling when you're going around a berm.
And all of a sudden the radius gets steeper.
Especially if it gets tighter.
It can pop you right off the berm. And I can say that Big Bears were built amazing. They did a great job on their trail building. I don't know how much maintenance they do, but every time I go there, by the end of the weekend, there's a bunch of braking bumps that show up in these trails where you jam the brakes on to make a corner. Yep. And then the next year or whatever, when I show up, they're not there. And then they show up again.
They must be maintaining it, at least yearly.
Yeah. And I think Angel Fire does good maintenance, but it's like on the yearly instead of the weekendly. And so if you go late in the season at Angel Fire, you'll see a lot more braking bumps. It gets super rough. So we're going in August and we'll see how it is. Yeah. Usually we plan Angel Fire early because we know that the trails are more maintained and fresher and smoother, because I literally get worn out riding Angel Fire because of the braking bumps. My arms will start to fall off.
Angel Fire's in that mountain corridor of every afternoon it's a lightning show too.
Yeah. So you never know if
once you get into July and August, it's almost a guarantee they're going to have lightning delays.
Yeah.
That's something I bring my e-bike next time so I can ride up because the new trail goes all the way to the top now. It didn't used to.
Yeah.
They just changed that last year.
So Big Bear, probably 6 to 8 runs. So they have
get like at least a dozen.
No, I'm talking about
total on the mountain.
Named runs. So there's 3 or 4. There's 2 different lifts. There's 2 or 3 at one lift, and then you go traverse across to the other lift, and there's like 2 or 3. And then they have so those are hubs, and then they have a central hub where they kind of join, and you can crisscross, and then you can connect them. So you can basically do West Ridge to Turtle out, or we were doing Blue Steel to Miracle, and out Miracle, or you can connect the fronts and the ends, and mix it up. My favorite was Blue Steel by far. So Blue Steel is a jump line, tons of jumps. It just starts right off the bat in all these jumps, but they're not too big. They're not so big that they're freaky. Yeah. And they're pretty small and they're easy.
Are they tables or gaps?
Tables,
I'd say like between 4, like maybe 3 and 8 feet.
Yeah.
So like on the big end, might be.
What's the big one at the bottom?
When you say 8 feet, you're talking about not the height, but the
height.
The height.
The height. Yeah.
So 8 sounds like a lot, but it's really not too bad. Okay. And a lot of those tables have like a bigger option. So you go in and you might have like a 5 foot on one side and a 7 foot on another because it's just got an extra 2 feet of lip.
Yeah, they'll put a high lip on them.
Yeah. So once you go through it and they progressively get bigger, and then some of them are longer. So there's like the double hip, right? Yep. So there's a cool hip that's got a small hip, and then you go down around the corner, you hit a second hip, and then that one's got a big option.
Yeah.
The table that's right after that, if you come off that big hip like I was doing, you can send that to flat.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah. You're going too fast. Yeah.
And then that last one that you were talking about,
the big table.
It's not necessarily super big. Like it might only be a 6 to 8 footer, but it's really long.
Yeah.
So you have to have a lot of speed to make it to the transition.
To make it to the transition.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so casing on top.
And so Blue Steel was probably my favorite because if you're not a jumper, it'll help you learn. For sure. It's not super consequences. The jumps weren't so big or scary. The lips, there's a couple steep ones that you get to that are a little intimidating, but you can kind of see over them so you're not freaking out. Then we hit Party Wave. So Party Wave is the big jump line, and that's got wood features, wood wall rides, and a little bit of tech. There's one rock jump that you can go over that it looks like some people do because there's tire tracks, but most of us went around it. And big hips, and then big ass jumps, like so big, like 10, 15 feet high.
Yeah, there's a couple of them are like candy. There's like one that's in there that's I would compare to Candyland at Angel Fire.
That's the line that my son went down and hit everything.
Yeah.
Like first try.
Candyland's got some big, well, they're not like long tables. They're just really tall.
Really tall.
And sharp lips, like just straight up. You can't see what's,
moon booters.
And there's one that I just slowed down on because I can see it. I'm coming down a hill towards it. It looks big and it's far away. And then as I get to the bottom and I'm picking up speed to start going up, it's so huge that I'm like, I'm just going to go into space when I hit this thing. And I jam on the brakes, as I'm coming up to it because I don't want to go into space. And Justin and Devin, they're right behind me. And they almost run right into me because I'm slowing down because I'm just going to pop on top instead of trying to clear it. And they're
I
big.
Thought for sure I was going to like jump onto Devin's back. Like I was hard on the binders, dude. Hard.
It's true. And that's what's cool. We took Devin. He started off on first day. He's an enduro racer. But he started off first day kind of hitting stuff and learning and doing okay. By the end of it, he was hitting big stuff on Party Wave. So that's what's cool about the bike park is you learn and you get better and better because you're doing run after run and you get to practice, and it's really cool.
And you're not getting wiped out from climbing up the hill.
No. And then the one trail that we all did like once or maybe twice is 10 ply. Yeah. And that's the most technical natural terrain. They've got doubles with gaps.
That's where they race.
Yeah. And it takes you through these wood sections that are stupid steep. And I did a GoPro video and I'm like, you can't tell how steep it is, but you can see the rocks. Like you can see it's just a field of rocks and there's no clear line. And you're just bombing through this thing and trying to figure out how not to flip over because you're at a 45 What is this?
45-degree angle.
Yeah, you're at a 40.
It's steep.
It's steep, and
it's pretty steep.
you're going through a rock garden, and it's powdery, and through the trees, and then you're navigating trees, corners, and all this stuff, and then you end up. We call it the caterpillar rock. So it's a stack of rocks that goes down that you can get onto, and then you have to drop off over a tree under when you get to the end of it.
These rocks are like trash can sized. I don't know, 3-4 foot around.
Oh, Jesus, big ones.
Yeah. And there's probably 10 of them, and they're in a line.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it looks like a caterpillar.
And it goes, it's 30 degrees down or whatever. Yeah. So you just skip over the top of them. And on the backside, there's like maybe a 3 or 4 foot drop.
Yeah. To a steep landing. So
that sounds no fun.
That's the no joke trail. That's the natural. And so what's funny is that's what we're used to in riding in Tucson and riding in Arizona. Like we're used to those rocks, that steep and just nastiness. That's what we're used to. The rest of the park is cake. The 10-ply is pretty hard. And, we go through it like nothing.
So I only did it once. I did it once last year, and this year, that was when my son went with another guy.
To a different trail.
Which to me makes me nervous, right? Because he's only 13. He's not super bikey, and I'm like, he'll be okay. He's with a good guy.
Yeah.
But we went, and Dane went out front. He's like, I'm not doing these doubles. He kind of killed my speed. I paced a bunch.
Justin got frustrated.
I'm like, get out of the way.
There's a video I put up, and you can hear him going,
get out of the way.
I'm like, go around me. I'm not doing these.
but then you get to the tech part, and I was like, I'm
not even let go of the brakes,
dude.
Wait.
Yeah. And I just went. I was like,
he was just gone.
And I was like, I got to the bottom of that little section, and I'm like, I'm just going to keep going like Forrest Gump. And just So I just went down through the whole thing. Did the caterpillar, didn't slow down. My GoPro stopped like midway somewhere. I ran out of battery.
I hate
it was like my only, even though it was blind.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I felt like just let the brakes go and just let it eat like I would back at home. And it was super cool.
Keep in mind, awesome. You're on a Canfield 190.
Yeah, I was on a downhill bike.
Yeah. And I'm on my trail bike. Well, my enduro light enduro bike.
So that's a good question. So I was going to ask, like, what are the recommended bike frames you would consider for?
Well, honestly, we saw everything. So my buddy from DVO, Bobby, showed up.
Yep.
And I'm on the lift, and I see a DVO green fork on the trail, and I'm like, oh, there's a DVO. I noticed because I like DVO, and I'm like, oh, that guy's riding DVO. He's got to be cool. And then I look, and it's a hardtail. I'm like, that guy's got to be crazy. That guy is a crazy nutcase, riding a hardtail on these trails, And then we get to the top, and we're hanging out waiting to do Blue Steel. And I hear this, Dane, and I turn around, and it's him, and it's Bobby from DVO. And he's like, what's up, man? And I'm like, you are crazy for riding that bike. And so
what was his explanation or rationale for it?
So he's a cross country guy with a side of enduro, and there's a endurance. He's more of an endurance rider.
Right.
And there's an endurance race that he was doing. And so he was just up there having fun. And it's funny because talking to him is pretty fun because he's noticing everybody. He noticed Justin had a DVO on his. He noticed my bike, and he's like, "How come the rest of your buddies don't have DVO?"
You're like, I'm working on them. give me a chance.
So you asked like what bikes?
Yeah, what bike would you recommend?
Looking at what's there and what the locals were there on.
Yeah,
it's absolutely just full of trail bikes and I would
long
say like 150, 170 bikes.
Yeah,
okay,
with maybe not even 10% were downhill bikes.
Yeah.
And then there was like maybe 10% on the bottom end that were like XC-ish, hardtail-ish.
Yeah. They were the weird old people.
Some people bring
people bikes. Yeah.
Yeah. Run what you brought.
Lots
right?
of e-bikes, man. There was a lot of e-bikes.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
I'm actually
crazy.
thinking about bringing my altitude to Angel Fire to try it out.
I was kind of.
I would not be afraid to do that.
Yeah. I was kind of like, why are they bringing them? And then I have to realize people don't all have 6 bikes, so they may just have one. But one of my old team members was there, Moses, and he had an e-bike. I don't remember which. I think it's an Orbea, but it was a big beastie one. And I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like, it's the same weight as my old downhill bike, and I just send it. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. He's not wrong.
I can't jump that altitude at all. That thing weighs like 70 pounds.
You will. When you go to the bike parts, you
got a power plate.
Yeah, he's got the same color. I think.
But I have a aluminum, and
he's got aluminum.
Oh, dude, you've got it at 56.
Yeah,
mine's like 68. How is that possible?
Maybe because you're just way taller than me. I don't know.
Did you put
it is an extra large. I did not. All right, so two more questions, and we'll close out.
Okay.
Brakes.
Oh yeah.
What do you recommend for brakes?
So we even talked about that. So I took my e-bike as a backup, and I actually blew a tire and had to use the rear brake or the rear wheel. But I started because I put those lightweight cross-country brakes on my e-bike.
That sounds dumb.
To make it lighter. And I actually refused to ride it because I was like, you need brakes.
So some type of four piston.
Yeah, you really do. You need like, I had I think I had a rear 180 and one 203 on mine.
Yep.
And I'm a light braker. I don't use my brakes too much. I kind of drag them all the time, so I don't jam them on at the last minute.
Justin's over here shaking his head.
Oh yeah,
like
he knows because he knows I go faster
brakes.
if I'd let go of my brakes. But
the brake thing it's super subjective, and you get the biggest thing for me is if you're a brake dragger, you need to dissipate heat.
Yeah,
and that comes out of a big rotor.
Yeah.
On my altitude and my element, I run 180, and I've never been to the point to where I'm like, I kind of wish I had more.
Yeah. And what do you weigh? Like 200 pounds maybe?
Yeah. So on my e-bike, I got 203s, and on the Canfield, I have 203s. And
and they're talking about rotor size, by the way.
That's the size of the rotor.
Just because I end up going faster. The e-bike, sure, it weighs 20 pounds more than a standard bike, but if I weigh 220 pounds, me and a standard bike, weigh the same. So it's all relative.
And it also, e-bikes at the heavier weight grip longer before they break traction. So your brakes actually are more effective.
Yeah, and the e-bike, the average speed's up though. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Well, because you've got power.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, the lady from People for Bikes told us in our little e-bike meeting that the average speed for an e-bike is like 3 miles per hour less than a regular bike across all the trails in the United States.
So
really,
I'm trying. The only thing I can figure about is that there's a lot of older people riding e-bikes, and they might just be riding slower.
I can't descend as fast on my e-bike.
I can't ride my e-bike as fast as my mountain
bike.
Now
I have to qualify that. On my lightweight, my 36-pound e-bike,
that's just a regular bike.
It's a regular bike. I can do that. But on my big Rocky, I cannot go as fast. I haven't tried that at a bike park yet. But like on regular trail, it's just too big, and I go much faster on my altitude.
You didn't bring the Norco out there?
I did. That's the one I brought, but I have those new Hope brakes that are the lightest brakes on the market. Yeah. And I was going to ride it just to try it, and I just got too lazy, but I didn't need it. You don't need an e-bike at all.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just brought it for spare parts, which I needed.
So final question, tires.
Oh God. Yeah, I found out.
So like I'm doing the standard like DHF, DHR.
You're talking to a tire popper over here.
Yeah.
And not me. I'm pointing at Dane.
And I want to hear because like Lacey wants to try something different, and she's thinking about the Agaros. But you kind of sent me a weird text with words that I didn't understand.
Oh, it was probably talk to text.
It definitely was talk to text.
So on that Snow Valley, Friday, I had like probably 40 pounds of PSI in my tires. Like it's
what the hell? Why would you run that high?
Because it's like pavement. You don't need traction. You don't need a low pressure. In fact, it works against you, and you're going so fast. When you do hit a rock, it's compressing the tires so much that you don't want to run low pressure at a bike park. But I ended up cutting my Agero, like a brand new set and I cut my rear tire in like what I thought was sand, and I was just pissed off like you wouldn't believe.
Okay. And have you cut those multiple times?
Yes. And so I went to Moab. I rode down. We did whole enchilada, and I rode down, and I really coined that up to your change in elevation. As you drop a lot of elevation in a long ride, your tire gets softer, and I just thought I just got a soft tire, and I just pinch flatted it. And so this is the third one at South Mountain. I got another flat, and now I got to tell you, I love this tire. It's fast. It corners awesome. It's got
you love all the performance, but it's failing you three times.
Yeah, so I think there's something wrong.
Is there a different casing that you could be using?
I think they're going to make an enduro. I have to check because as somebody who sells these, I'm kind of ticked at the tire, and I actually ordered some. You remember when I was dogging on the Forecasters?
Yeah,
and I had
misdiagnosed what they were.
Misdiagnosed which tire it was. It was the Medusas that I was telling people they were stupid for getting in Arizona. Yeah, because that's what Maxxis used to call their mud tire.
Yeah,
and so I actually looked at them Forecasters, and we ordered some. I'm going to try some and give them a shot. The Agero, I think, is a faster, more versatile tire.
And that's a Vittoria, right?
Yeah, that's a Vittoria. but I'm not really sure what's going on. And last year I rode the Crypt Totals, which I hated.
Continental.
Yeah,
I mean, just pretty much universal hatred for the Continental
They're
line.
super heavy down.
Yeah. So let me qualify my hatred. I hated them on my super light 27-pound enduro bike that I can ride as a cross country bike because it made it feel like a downhill bike. At the bike park, they were fine. Like I didn't have any problems at the bike park. So I don't think they're a bad tire when you're not worried about the bike feeling, sluggish.
Yeah.
So this year I went with the Agueros because I wanted to keep my bike light and fast and nimble for most of my riding. The bike park's only 1%, 2% of my riding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm struggling with them trying to figure out what's going on. The Martello is probably one of the best park tires you can get.
That's also Vittoria.
That's Vittoria. It's a tighter, it's not super mud shedding, but it's a tighter blocks. They're corner awesome, super fast, really durable. And you can get that in the Enduro casing, which is double strong. And then the Mazda is their other one. So those are my combo right now. I'm going to put on my downhill bike.
So you're digging the Vittoria right now, besides the fact that the Cigaro keeps failing you.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't like Maxxis.
You're just trying to be different with BBO.
I think so, honestly. Like I honestly kind of buck that.
Punk rock.
Well, yeah, it's like automatically there's Maxxis everywhere, and everybody's like Maxxis.
Shouldn't you run those V tires if you're going to be really punk rock?
No. Oh my God. Sketch.
The Indian.
One of our
V-tires.
listeners, shout out to Mike Jones. He rides a tire.
Mike Jones.
Yeah, he likes it because it's
a V tire.
No, what are they? Versus, and they make them in colors, and they match his bike. He's named his bike Sharon. Yep. So shout out to Sharon. She has her own Instagram page, and I'm not kidding. Sharon the mountain bike. Go look it up. Yep. But he gets these tires, and he likes them. He said that he likes the performance. In fact, I think he's riding black now because they didn't have the color. So they're Versus. I'm not sure. I haven't really gotten into them.
We could do a whole
episode just on tires. But what do you run at the bike park? Just like, what did you run this weekend?
I didn't do anything different because...
Well, what is it that you do normally?
I run Martellos on everything I own.
Yeah.
Now, every once in a while, I might go Mazda on the front because it's got a little bit different grip characteristic. If I'm looking for a little bit to push past thicker sand or... Yeah. So the big thing out here in Arizona and actually like out in the Southwest, everything that I've ridden is basically loose over hard.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have a big enough tread to push through the loose to get to the hard, then you're sliding.
Yeah.
And so if you have something that's got a little bit taller of a knob, the Martello and the Mazda and the Agaro work, the DHF works you start getting the DHRs and the high roller and the DHF and especially like the Assegai, they don't roll worth a crap.
Yeah, they don't. They're slower.
They're really downhill tires unless
they're
you're just
good tires
willing
for all those
to
people
deal
that
with.
just got mad that I say they're slower.
Yeah, if you're just willing to deal with it. But I mean, if you only ride DHF and DHRs, you don't know anything different. Like when I put, what does that? It's a Mescal. The Vittoria Mescal.
Oh my God, that's
the race version
fast.
Mescal. And I kid you not, the whole wheel set with tires was 2,400 grams.
Like super light.
Super light. And that bike, it was on my Element and it weighed just under 25 pounds. And that thing is a rocket.
They're like 600 gram tires. They're so light.
It's so fast. It's so noticeable.
And you're not flatten them or ripping them or anything?
No, I just run them up to like 28, 30 PSI just to be safe.
Yeah, we sell those for like Leadville, dirt roads, things like that.
Yeah,
people,
be like a gravel tire.
Yeah, it's almost a gravel tire.
Gravel. Yeah. Like they're 2.1s.
We don't even sell. We have one set here just for those race bikes, and we tell people when they buy them, this is a race day only tire because they don't have the flat protection. That's for the race version.
Yep.
The XC, I think XC Race is what they call them, and then they have a trail version that has protection, and they're low tread fast. That's Vittoria's answer to like Icon, Maxxis Icon
or Recon.
Yeah.
So I think when you go to a bike park or any trail where any place where the trail speed's up, you just run a little bit extra pressure.
Yep.
That because you need the support from the sidewalls, unless you're running like a downhill casing or something crazy. Were you
running inserts?
Yeah, I run inserts.
I didn't have any inserts.
I might not in the future. I don't know if it's necessary at this point. I think the tire have changed over the last few years.
They're way more durable than
so I feel like inserts at bootleg make more sense. But at the bike part, it's like riding a sidewalk. It's not nearly as rough as our normal terrain.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you need the extra centrifugal.
Yeah, so it's not like you need to go to a bike park and you think, oh, automatically I'm going downhill. I need to put new tires on it. They need to be downhill casing, and they need to be, acid guys and high roller twos or DHR rears. Like, not happening. Not necessarily. Just ride what you have.
And of course, we got to define that bike park, the ones that we've been talking about that are just really machine built, really smooth, like jump lines.
Different than like
that.
natural trail.
Yeah, like when we go to bootleg, that's not the case. There's no machine built anything out there. And then I'm sure in other bike parks, I'm trying to think. So a lot of the Purgatory was machine built. Telluride was machine built. So a lot of the ones we've talked about are not. You don't need a super chunky tire until you hit those natural terrain tires.
Yeah, you get those downhill tracks.
Yeah.
Right on.
So,
all right, guys, you guys got any final thoughts for our listeners here?
Let's see.
Ride.
I feel like I got new people into bikes.
Did you?
Yeah, but we lost one. So
how'd you lose one?
So Bev brought her kids, her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend up to Big Bear with us and stayed with us. And she brought bikes for them. And she took a tumble, and she's like, I think she's going to swear off mountain bikes.
Bev is? Or
her daughter.
Her daughter.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Bev's hardcore. But I think her daughter's swearing off. So I think we may have lost.
That's a good reminder for our listeners. So we've challenged y'all, and I have, I think, 5.
Justin brought his kid.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So we're challenging y'all to identify someone who's not an avid mountain biker and try to get them hooked on the sport.
Yep.
And, do things. I loaned a buddy of mine's friend my bike this weekend up in Flagstaff and said, go take it. Yep. And he was like, really? I'm like, yeah, just go take it and ride it. And he came back, and I've probably gotten 50 texts from him on different bikes that he's looking at buying since then. So yeah, it's awesome. Get someone hooked.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for coming and spending some time with us.
Yeah,
man.
it was fun. It was cool.
I've heard a lot about you. You seem like a cool guy. So
I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, there's so many cool trails in the Southwest and all over the world. It'll be real neat to see where the trail conversation can proceed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
All right, guys, take care.